Mandy Shah, your conference chair. Soon I'll be an AAPOR member for 20 years. For a professional association like AAPOR, the measure of our value has to be our members. It's the people of AAPOR, just like you, who built our 75 years of foundation. No matter how large AAPOR grows in the future, this will always be the same. People of AAPOR make us strong.
Well, hello, American Association of Opinion Research. My name is Jeremy Fay, and I am the mayor of the city of Central. And I have an opinion or two, but let's talk about this city and your beginnings. 75 years ago, in that building right there is where the decisions were made by the likes of Gallup and Field and others. The University of Denver was highly involved, but we want to thank you for getting your start here 75 years ago. This is the hotel where everyone would have stayed, the Teller House. Again, that's the Opera House where all the decisions were made. So 75 years. Congratulations. That's a hell of an anniversary, Diamonds. We know more about gold here than diamonds, but we do know of the importance of what you've done for our country in those 75 years. So again, one last congratulations, and I'll leave you with one final thought. We all know about opinions. Everybody has one. So my opinion is you guys chose the perfect place to get your start. Hope to see you back here again, maybe for the 100th anniversary. Again, this is Jeremy Fay saying goodbye and thank you.
My name is Nora Kate Schaefer. My first AAPOR conference was in 1986 at the Don Cesar. I have two memories of that conference. The first is that I gave my first conference presentation there, and even though I did a pretty bad job, everyone continued to treat me very civilly and were very encouraging to me as a young scholar. The second strong memory I have from that conference is that the senior scholars whose work I was reading and teaching in my graduate classes were right there and very accessible and willing to talk to me. Over the years, I have just developed an even greater appreciation of AAPOR. It provides us with the underpinnings of the science in our enterprise. It gives us our journals. It gives us the code of ethics. It gives us the conference. It gives us the transparency initiative and a forum in which we can think about the important issues facing our field. So I would like to wish AAPOR a happy 75th anniversary, and I look forward to being a part of the future.
Hello, AAPOR. I have been a proud member of AAPOR for the last 33 years. My first AAPOR conference was in 1989 at the Don Cesar in Florida, and I remember it well. I went alone as a graduate student. I didn't know anyone, and I was struck by how welcoming AAPOR members are. And I have made so many great friends through AAPOR over the years since. AAPOR has also played an important role in my professional development over the years, but AAPOR's members are what make it really special. The mix of longtime researchers who are top in the field and newer researchers who bring fresh perspectives and help keep AAPOR vibrant and innovative. It has been so gratifying to see AAPOR's growth over these past 3 decades. Happy anniversary, AAPOR, and I'm excited to see what the next 75 years bring.
Hi. I'm Marie Edelman. I've been a member of AAPOR for 39 years. I was president 2000, 2001, and that was like the highlight of my professional life, to be president of such an amazing council. so competent and sharp. It was just really, really wonderful. And the highlight of my conference was when I gave my presidential address. I decided to give something very personal, and I put it in the context of public opinion and AAPOR. And people really loved it. I had this really enthusiastic standing ovation, and I still feel a little lightness whenever I think about it and talk about it. So happy anniversary, AAPOR.
Hi, my name's Jack Fowler, and I've been doing survey research since the 1960s. And I thought I just might say a few words about what I've done and how that's worked to make me a committed member of AAPOR all these years. My first interest was interviewers and how they contributed to error and how training and supervision could minimize interviewer effects on data. Then I got into the problem of how question design affected error and how we could detect bad questions, and worked on cognitive interviewing and then behavior coding of pretest interviews as ways of detecting problems. Did some split ballot experiments to try to evaluate how different question wordings affected the data that resulted. And then more recently, like a lot of you have been interested in non-response and how we can minimize that. And through all those different periods, AAPOR was the obvious place to take my work and to go find people who were interested in the same problems I was interested in. The AAPOR conference is a place for methods that no other place offers. And so AAPOR has always been my main professional association and one that has been most supportive and helpful to me. I have one wish that was Jürgen Habermas used to present on Saturday night, sharing his wit and wisdom, and I wish he could come back. But other than that, my relationship with AAPOR has been great. I feel very proud to have been a member for so long, and I'm glad to take this opportunity to wish its members and the organization as a whole a very happy 75th anniversary.
Hi, AAPOR. Congratulations on your 75th. I've been here for 35 of them.
Hi, everybody. I'm Scott Keeter. I've been an AAPOR member for 34 years, and I'd like to take this opportunity to wish AAPOR a very happy 75th anniversary.
Hello, everyone. This is Dick Kolka. I'm just so pleased to be able to weigh in on the anniversary of the American Associations of Public Opinion Research, the 75th anniversary of its founding. I joined AAPOR as a graduate student at Michigan in 1980 and have been a member ever since, including attendance at all but one conference, I believe. I've had the great pleasure and honor of serving as the president of the organization, many other roles, and in working with so many great people and learning from so many great people from at all ages within the association. Ironically, I was also born in the founding year of AAPOR, and so I'm also celebrating my 75th birthday this year at the time of AAPOR's 75th anniversary. And it seems fitting to me because so much of the happiness, joy, and learning in my life has been associated with AAPOR, which I'm sure is also true for many of the others of the members of the association. I look forward to seeing everybody at the celebration this year.
Hey friends, Michael Link here. I'd like to share a few of my thoughts and experiences on AAPOR. AAPOR's been my professional home since I was a graduate student, sometime late in the last century. I can still remember that first AAPOR presentation that I gave with Dr. Robert Oldendick in Lancaster, Pennsylvania on abortion attitudes in the New South. Since that time period, AAPOR has seen me through the birth of 3 children, 5 different employers, 6 different addresses, and 86 different AAPOR presentations. I think I probably have the distinction at AAPOR of being the only person that has resigned from AAPOR Council twice. The first was to take on the role of conference chair when the conference chair that was elected needed to step aside. And the second was when I had the honor of being elected by you all to be AAPOR president. I've got to say that AAPOR has just been an amazing part of my life. I've learned a lot. Hopefully I've been able to give back a lot. And I've just made a tremendous number of friends along the way. So I want to thank all of you for helping to enrich my life, and I hope that I've been able to do a bit to push AAPOR forward. Happy 75th anniversary, AAPOR. Looking forward to decades more. Thanks.
Wishing AAPOR a happy 75th anniversary, the Diamond Jubilee. And, AAPOR's been a source of strength and support for all these years. So thank you. And onward to the next 75.
Happy 75th, AAPOR. I'm looking forward to the celebration in Atlanta. See you there.
I was 7 years old when AAPOR was created. While I didn't join right away, I was in the process of conducting my first survey, going door to door in our neighborhood to see whether Gene Autry or Roy Rogers was the greater cowboy. So I think that must have been an omen. I'm proud of my membership in AAPOR for now 45 or 50 years, and I look forward to more in the future. Happy.
My first AAPOR conference was at Buck Hill Falls. It was really memorable. The first session that I ever attended, Merv Field was giving his presentation in a room filled with stuffed animal heads. There were about 300 of us, as I recall, at that conference, and we all stayed in one place and had all of our meals together. It was amazing to me, as someone just starting out in survey research, to have breakfast the next morning with Seymour Sudman. AAPOR has been the perfect meeting place for me. Just endless, different and memorable experiences. I've only missed one conference since Buck Hill Fall. It's unbelievable that it's been 40 years since my first presentation at an AAPOR conference at the 35th conference in Cincinnati. There is nothing like an AAPOR conference. I can't thank Harry H. Field enough for getting this started in 1946. AAPOR, congratulations on 75 wonderful years.
Happy 75th, AAPOR. I have been proud to be a member since the mid-1970s and have attended over half of all of the meetings the organization's ever had. I remember vividly my earliest years when I was quite struck at meeting legends who welcomed me as if I had been an old friend, even though I was quite wet behind the ears. And the general welcoming climate that was so incorporating of people who were coming from various backgrounds, academic, governmental, non-for-profit, for-profit, but shared a commitment to quality research that would give voice to those who could not necessarily speak directly into the political and cultural process, but to honestly inquire, to measure and report and faithfully represent their opinions to be part of the broader discourse and the wider intellectual enterprise. Especially in this time, when so many people lack a shared notion of common truth, of objective reality, the interpretations of which we can differ about, AAPOR's role is vital as ever have been, and I look forward to the remainder of our first century and well beyond.
I am Ray Funkhauser. I joined AAPOR in 1968. So that means as of year 2020, I've been hanging around for about 52 years. I was pretty active in AAPOR prior to my retiring from the field in 1996. I had held several offices nationally and chapter offices, and I always enjoyed the conferences. I had one kind of presentation or another at I think 15 of them. The thing that endeared AAPOR to me right at the very beginning was the way that it accommodated academic, commercial, media, government people, virtually anybody that had a serious interest in public opinion and social research. And I'm happy to find that that tradition has endured to this day. So congratulations on your 75th anniversary, AAPOR, and best wishes to all.
My name is Karen Goldenberg, and I'm an honorary life member of AAPOR. I've been in the survey research field in one capacity or another for about 50 years. I joined AAPOR in 1986 and attended my first conference in 1987. At the time, I was struck by the huge amount of research going on, none of which I'd encountered in graduate school. Research on how to ask questions, how to contact respondents, mode effects, measurement error, and so forth. Our tools and our methods have changed, but we continue to ask questions about asking questions and having people answer them. It was a chance meeting in the Toronto airport after the 1988 conference that really got me involved in AAPOR. I got to talking then to Chuck Cowan, who was the site selection chair, and for 2 years I worked with him on some conference operations. When Chuck stepped down, Council appointed me his successor. For 5 years, I identified potential conference sites, checked out facilities and pricing, made a recommendation to Council, negotiated contracts, and worked with hotels on the logistical aspects of our conference. I served through the 50th anniversary conference in 1995, and I have a feeling for what Mandy and Kristen and Dawn and Janice are going through. Then I was elected MCR chair, coming into the job in time to see AAPOR's 1996 member survey, which I believe was the first one since the 1960s. AAPOR was a big factor in my career, both nationally and in the DC chapter. I got to meet people from all over the world. It was a DC AAPOR colleague who pointed me in the direction of a job opening, which turned out to be where I worked at the Bureau of Labor Statistics for 19 years. Through AAPOR, I interacted with people inside and outside government. I worked with many of them on research that crossed agencies and that was presented at AAPOR and at other conferences. And a few years into my retirement, I was appointed to a MCR subcommittee, which has allowed me to continue my involvement. AAPOR's been an important part of my life for the past 34 years. Congratulations to us on our 75th anniversary. I'm very happy to be a part of it.
Hi, I'm Walt Owens at Clemson University. I'm proud to have been a member of such a fine organization as AAPOR for 56 years. I've enjoyed all the conventions I've attended, especially the ones at the Don Cesar in Florida. Happy anniversary, AAPOR.
Hi, AAPOR. This is Susan Pincus, and I've been a member of AAPOR since the early 1980s. So that makes me an honorary life member. I wish AAPOR a very happy 75th anniversary. I love being a member of this organization. When I first started at the LA Times poll, I was invited to my first conference in 1980. I didn't know a soul, but I was made to feel most welcomed by the men and women that did the polling and research at that time, such as Warren Matofsky, Howard Schuman, Herb Mendelsohn, the Langers, Eleanor Singa, Mike Traugott, Bob Groves. AAPOR has always been part of my professional family. I've met wonderful, warm, and supportive people along the way. I also made long-lasting friends, which I'm forever grateful for. As I always said, polling at the LA Times was not a job, but my passion. So AAPOR, here's to another 75 years.
I'm John Shelton Reed. I've been connected with AAPOR since I won the third place in the student paper competition in 1968, which I guess means 52 years. Happy anniversary, AAPOR.
I'm Herb Weisberg. I've been in AAPOR since the late 1960s or early 1970s. Happy 75th anniversary to AAPOR. I've been so proud of AAPOR over the years for its development of standards for polling, including ethical standards and standards for assessing poll quality. Best wishes for another happy 75 years for AAPOR. Bye.
Hey there, this is Cricket Cohen, former staff person at Benson & Benson, Gallup Organization, Total Research, and a few other places, and erstwhile freelancer for, oh goodness gracious, decades and decades, so I won't say more about that. Few people I'd just really like to acknowledge, but first let me say this is my current colleague, Jubal, 33-year-old stallion. I guess he's in retirement, more or less. He still likes the ladies. But nevertheless, this is coming to you from Dorothy in the wild wood of New Jersey, southern New Jersey, and not too far from the Dorothy Reserve and in the Pinelands National Reserve. So we are disconnected from a lot of stuff here, but I do want to thank a few folks. First of all, it would be Bob Bazilla, from the late 70s on through the early 90s, I guess. He introduced me to local AAPOR. That's my first experience of AAPOR, was lots of meetings in central New Jersey, as it was called then, Central New Jersey AAPOR, a very limited scope, I guess, at the time. But I want to thank Bob Bazilla for tons of stuff. And next would be Andy Kohut. And after that, oops, I think you might have heard a horse there. I would also want to thank a few folks at Princeton University and my mid-career return to graduate work, and that would be Jennifer Hochschild and Alan Kruger and Larry Bartels. I really want to thank also a latecomer to my life and career, and also AAPOR, which would be Mr. John, well now Dr. John Frugen at the Stockton Polling Institute. I would hope someone that really might want a job there because they're looking for somebody, and I will say it's a great place to be and a place to work. So I just want to sign off. I was at the 50th anniversary. I don't think I'll make the 75th, but I do hope to come sometime down the line with aging relatives, aging horses, and I'm not a spring chicken myself, although I really think I am. So I'll just sign off with that. Best to everyone. I hope it's a great conference, and I'll see you soon. Thanks so much.
Hi. My name is Mary Ann Jones, and I have been a member of AAPOR since some point in the 1970s. And I have here my lovely little plaque that I just received in the mail from AAPOR, indicating that I'm an honorary life member. And I thank you very much for that. But that's my evidence. I am so pleased to have the opportunity to make a tribute to AAPOR. It has meant so much to me over the years. And before I make my tribute, there's a caveat that I must inform you of. This will be longer than 1 minute. I have been working all weekend to get it down to a minute, and I'm not even close. Every time I rewrite it, it gets longer. So I just decided I'm just going to do it, and you all do what you need to in terms of handling the length of it. All right. I also need to get back to my life. I've spent way too much time on this. Okay. And at the risk of being a bit grand, I have given my tribute a title, which is How I Discovered AAPOR and How It Saved My Life. I don't know about you, but I have realized that I am, my life journey has been one of trying to find jobs that I'm good at. And I've had a lot of mishaps along the way. My first job was in the at the Dairy Queen in my little town in southern Ohio. And my friends called it the cone with the glob on top. I did not let that discourage me. But as time went on, I kept encountering more jobs that I was not good at. The next one was after college. I had gone out on interviews for terrible, boring jobs that I wouldn't want to spend my life doing. And then along came this very exciting job that was so exciting they couldn't even tell me who it was or what I would be doing. All I knew was I would be going to Washington, D.C., and I had to take an exam to get the job. These were all very appealing to me because one thing I had been good at was going to school. So the job turned out to be with the National Security Agency. 1963, when the country was in the throes of the Bay of Pigs, the Cuban Missile Crisis, and the government was bringing in truckloads of college graduates to beef up the security, the national security and intelligence capabilities. So I worked for the National Security Agency, and they assigned me to the Russian linguist program. There were two possibilities, computers or Russian language. I'm terrible at languages. I knew this was not going to be a good fit, but they did not ask me my opinion about it. And in a very short amount of time, a couple of years, I said, I do not want the burden of any of the national security resting on my ability to translate the Russian language. So I decamped from that job, and the next thing I undertook was I had encountered people who worked with young people in a counseling capacity, and I decided that sounded very appealing to me. And so I also learned that social work was a path toward doing that. And so I got my MSW. And then I got my dream job, counseling adolescent girls. Within a very few weeks, I had also learned that I was not good at that. I had learned a lot about diagnosis, and I was able to diagnose these young women up one side and down the other, but I didn't have any idea what to do to help them with the problems that they had. And I do need to make it clear that I'd had 2 years of internship, but I had plenty of supervision, and so I didn't become as aware of how bad I was at this, though I suspected. So at that point, I decided while I loved social work and I loved being in a helping profession, being a counselor was not for me. So I was lucky, though, that my MSW program had a master's thesis requirement. And that turned out to be very fortunate for me. Even though I had very little training at all about research, I undertook to operationalize the Erickson's adolescent, in Erickson's 8 stages in the developmental life of a human. The adolescent stage and the crisis for that stage of identity versus despair. And I set about, because I could find nothing in the literature, I set about operationalizing that stage, that life stage, and administered the instrument that I designed to a group of adolescents and analyzed it. And when I had finished with that, and I had gone out for my job, my dream job that I only lasted a couple of months in because I found again I was no good at it, I decided I'm going to get a job in research. So that began my life doing research. I got wonderful jobs in 2 national social work agencies that were federations of member agencies, Child Welfare League of America and Family Service Association of America, both in New York City. I had wonderful mentors, 2 pioneers in the field of social work research, and I must say their names. Dorothy Fosbeck at the Family Service Society of America and Anne Shine at the Child Welfare League of America. They have my undying gratitude for all that they taught me. But then things changed, and the social work was no longer being housed in agencies. The agencies could no longer afford it, and social work was becoming more involved in teaching research and doing research. And so the research aspect of social work moved to the schools of social work. So when my 2 organizations that I loved left New York City to relocate in Washington, D.C., I needed a job. And so reluctantly, I took a job on the faculty of a school of social work at NYU, where I spent the rest of my career. The problem is I needed to teach research for that job. And as any of you know who have ever tried to do it, doing research and teaching research are 2 very different things. When you do research, I never really totally understood the difference between reliability and validity when I was doing research, when I was conducting research. But then that left me, I didn't know what in the world I was going to say to these people that I'm trying to teach research to. I'm not going to teach them how to code something. So I was in a tizzy, and I thought, I do not believe it. Here I am again at this point in my life with a job that I am not good at. And I even had the experience of walking down the street to class and hoping I would get hit by a car. Not so bad that I would be really badly hurt, but bad enough that I wouldn't have to go teach that class. Well, the good fortune that came upon me, that's when I discovered AAPOR. And I began going to the New York City chapter AAPOR meetings. And I had died and gone to heaven. Here was a group of people, I didn't even know that they were the luminaries in the field of public opinion polling and survey research. I didn't even know that. But they were the luminaries from all the big polling organizations that are housed at the networks, the TV networks, and the newspapers in New York City. And at the meetings and the workshops, I learned about research. I learned about the importance of data quality. I learned about garbage in, garbage out. I learned about sampling and the difference between representative and just things called samples. I learned the nuts and bolts from a conceptual level. I loved it. I found the conceptual understanding of research thrilling. It's really about thinking. It really is about thinking. And so knowledge of empirical research became my favorite food. And I imparted that to my students, even though the research class is not the favorite class of social work students. That's what I taught, and those who were willing took it in. And I even had, and some of them even felt the same excitement that I did about this field, and added research to what they did with in their social work careers. So my final, so that is, and why I say AAPOR saved my life was because I no longer wanted to get hit by a car on the way to teach my social work research classes. And since I am here recording this message, whether it's actually still being recorded or not, I have one last thing I want to say. I had, let's see, yes. So, first of all, it is thank you, AAPOR, for being the most vital, vibrant, and important professional group I have ever belonged to. Thank you for saving my life. And I don't know what I would have done without you. And I will sign off by taking this opportunity because I missed this year's deadline on the t-shirt contest. I would like to take this opportunity to submit my entry for next year's t-shirt contest, which is AAPOR, 76 years of separating the chicken shit from the chicken salad. Thank you.
Happy 75th birthday, AAPOR, from AAPOR.
Hi, from New York. On behalf of New York AAPOR, we would like to wish
Happy 75th anniversary, AAPOR. Happy 75th, AAPOR. Happy anniversary, AAPOR. Congratulations, AAPOR, from the Census Bureau.
Happy 75th, AAPOR.
Happy 75th birthday, AAPOR. Happy 75th anniversary, AAPOR, from our new systems group.
As the repository for the research data of the AAPOR community, the Roper Center for Public Opinion Research shares AAPOR's mission of promoting the highest standards in survey research, providing education about polling, and encouraging the responsible use of survey data by academics, policymakers, journalists, and others.
AAPOR's longstanding commitment to data sharing and transparency has encouraged researchers to deposit their data with the Roper Center, aiding us in building one of the world's best social science research archives. And so it is with a deep sense of gratitude that,
from everyone here at Roper Center, we wish you
Happy 75th Anniversary, AAPOR! "75 years! Happy anniversary, AAPOR!"
Happy 75th, AAPOR.
75.
AAPOR,
AAPOR.
American Association of Public Opinion Research.
To me, being a member means to follow AAPOR standards of ethical conduct and to help promote best practices in collecting, analyzing, and interpreting survey data.
I see it as kind of a place of exchange of ideas, hearing what other people are doing, sharing what you're doing that's interesting.
Sharing those results so that we can all obtain better data for our constituents and clients. Having AAPOR as a place to collaborate allows us all to innovate faster and keep our industry relevant in a world that's continually changing and noisier than ever.
A lot of support, a lot of mentoring, and it's really a great community to work with.
Happy anniversary, AAPOR!
Hi, I'm Dawn Nelson, and I've been a member of the organization since the fall of 1988. My very first conference was this one here, it was at the Don Cesar in St. Pete Beach. It was the 44th AAPOR conference. And I've actually attended every conference since. So 2020 will be my 32nd consecutive conference. So I thought for over those 3 decades that we'd share 3 t-shirts. This one here, we kind of decided to make our own back in the 90s. My dog Bueller decided he wanted to be in the video. Here is the AAPOR t-shirt I'm most honored to own. This was when I was your conference chair in 2015. So there you have it. 32 years, 3 t-shirts, and 1 chocolate lamp. Happy anniversary.
Hi, this is Ginger Blazer again. I recognize that I did not start on time when I did my first video. So anyway, I'm Ginger Blazer. I've been with AAPOR for 16 years. And in that time, I've been fortunate to have met such a knowledgeable and accomplished group of people. I don't have a conference in particular that was the best, but I have to say that every conference I have attended was filled with many memorable experiences. Many of you know that I am a huge karaoke fan. So to congratulate AAPOR once again, here's a one-liner. We are gonna celebrate, yeah. 75 years of AAPOR. Anyway, you know why this is not my first job. But as I said before, it's the thought that counts. So I'm looking forward to seeing you all in Atlanta. Take care.
Happy 75th anniversary, AAPOR. This is Francine Kafarkia at ISA, and my favorite AAPOR memory is attending a conference in New Orleans several years ago. The pub crawl was extremely fun and a great way to get to know your fellow AAPOR members. I think the most valuable thing that I get out of AAPOR is all the interesting information that comes to us, at least interesting to us data collection nerds. In any case, keep up the great work. And once again, congratulations on 75 years, and here's to 75 more.
Hi, this is Kristen Conrad. I'm a director of custom research at LHK Partners Incorporated, which is a public opinion and market research firm based in Newtown Square, Pennsylvania. That's just outside of Philadelphia. I first joined AAPOR in 1993 after getting hired in 92 to work on the exit polls for the presidential election. I've stayed involved with AAPOR first by attending conferences, but also by participating in webinars and also in the listserv. Even though I don't go to conferences as frequently as I used to, I still stay involved and I enjoy learning lots of new things through all of the different forums that AAPOR has to offer. So happy anniversary, AAPOR, and I look forward to many more years to come.
Hi, this is Doug Curvin. I've been an AAPOR member for 20 years. Just want to say happy 75th anniversary,
Session
AAPOR.
attendees, and it was a very interactive, seamless experience, fed so well into the sessions, and really loved the scope of the content, learning about the American voter, the American electorate, the voter mindset, and the new digital methods that had gained such prevalence in government. It was a big surprise and an opportunity for enlightenment. And I loved connecting with the diverse global professionals, both at the AAPOR and WAPOR collaborative sessions. Really gave me so much to learn from, and I carry those experiences and values every day through by following all your updates, and I'm so proud to be a member, and would like to wish you a very happy 75th birthday and many, many more. Thank you.
Happy 75th anniversary, AAPOR. It was kind of disturbing to look back and count up the years and realize it's been 35 years since I attended my first AAPOR. I think I missed one during that time, and so that makes it 34. It spans all of the eras of my personal and professional life. Well, most of them anyway. And during that time, I have met so many great people there at the conferences every year, and worked with many more on committees and in the local chapter where I served as president and conference chair and treasurer and webmaster. But the takeaway that I have from AAPOR is that it has just been there for me throughout all of the various eras, as I said, and during some really hard times when I was sort of changing careers and thinking about what to do. And always AAPOR people were there to help and to make suggestions and to give me references, and basically just, it's been wonderful just spending time with all of you and partying with you and learning from you. So many people who I respect, so many people who I've learned from, and so many just wonderful survey geeks that I love spending time with. So you are my people, and I look forward to seeing you again this year in May, coronavirus willing. Bye.
Congratulations, AAPOR, on 75 years. It's Tom Gooderbach at the University of Virginia, and I've been a member of AAPOR for over 25 years and in survey research for over 30 years. So I started in survey research before I really knew about AAPOR, and when I went to my first meeting, I fell in love. The people at AAPOR are so great, and I want to tell you why they're so great. First of all, survey research is a communications art, so survey researchers are naturally pretty good at communicating. But more importantly, surveys are done by teams. You can't be successful in survey research if you don't know how to work in a team, and that's why AAPOR people get along with each other so great and are so helpful. I want to thank AAPOR for all you've given me and the people on our team here at University of Virginia over the years. You've helped us to be better. We love being part of AAPOR, and here's to the next 75 years of success.
Hello, AAPOR, and happy 75th. Hope to see you all in Atlanta. And if I do, maybe you'll join me at the golf outing. And maybe on Saturday night, applied probability.
Hey, AAPOR, this is Craig Helmstetter from the APM Research Lab, congratulating you on 75 years and going strong. I suppose I got my start in the public opinion field back in 1996 when I was a telephone interviewer way before the cell phones were making a big impact. So I've been benefiting from AAPOR for a long time. More recently, the Transparency Initiative has been keeping those of us at the APM Research Lab on our toes. And I'll also say that AAPOR is the site of one of my best athletic achievements over the years, having won third place at a fun run not too long ago. So congratulations, AAPOR. Happy.
Hello, AAPOR. I'm Stephen Immervar. I'm a survey researcher. I've been a member of AAPOR since the 1990s and a periodic conference attendee as well since then. AAPOR has been a resource for me throughout my professional career, and I've found the conferences to be particularly inspiring, and not just because of the new research that's being presented, what works, what doesn't work, but also because of the dedication and ethics of my fellow AAPOR members and conference attendees. So, happy 75th anniversary to AAPOR, and here's to many, many more. Cheers.
Happy 75th anniversary, AAPOR. My name is Elaine Kasabian, and I have been a member of AAPOR for 9 or 10 years. And my first conference was in 2012. And for me, that was just a different conference than I'd ever been to. So many welcoming people, such interesting research, such a variety of backgrounds of people coming together, all to talk about data and be data nerds together. And I just loved it. And I've been really glad to be part of it for the past decade or so. And I look forward to many more years. Thank you, everyone who's made it possible.
Hello, AAPOR. This is Ron Langley. I've been a member of AAPOR for 23 years. My first conference was in St. Louis. I've had the pleasure of serving AAPOR in a variety of capacities on committees, etc., over the last 20-something years. I find AAPOR to be a great resource. I came over from a faculty job to take over a survey research center back in 1998, and I was swimming in the deep end. I found so many people to help me figure out what I should be doing and how I should be doing, and I really appreciate the conference. It's my home conference. Aside from that, I've made many great friendships that will last long after we all retire. And I hope to be saying congratulations on your 100th anniversary.
Happy 75th, AAPOR. I'm Mary Loesch, and I'm delighted to add my congratulations as AAPOR celebrates 75 years of promoting survey science and supporting and educating those of us who conduct surveys that inform policy, surveys that help us understand our world, and contribute to democracy. I joined AAPOR 29 years ago tomorrow, and it was one of the best professional decisions that I ever made. AAPOR has provided the foundation for my professional career, and AAPOR members are truly my professional family. Through my work on committees and the Executive Council, I have been privileged to work with some of the smartest, kindest, and most generous people I have ever met. They have taught me, they have supported me, and they have challenged me. I salute AAPOR on its very important and very successful first 75 years. And I look forward to being part of the journey as we plan the next 75. Here's to AAPOR.
My name is Keith Newman. I've been a member of AAPOR since 1988. That's 32 years and counting. I'd like to wish AAPOR a hearty congratulations on its 75th anniversary. That's a tremendous accomplishment. At a time when so many professional associations are struggling to survive, AAPOR is as strong as ever. It's a truly unique organization, and I feel so honored to have been a part of it. Enjoy the celebration in Atlanta.
Congratulations on turning 75, AAPOR. Darren Penno here from the Social Research Centre, all the way down in Melbourne, Australia. I've been survey researcher since 1984 and an AAPOR member since 2008. I think there should be an Australian chapter of AAPOR, and I think it should go by the name of G'day AAPOR. All the best. Bye.
I am Alice Ushua Glusberg. My first conference for AAPOR was 1988 in Toronto. Since 1996, I have attended continuously except 1 year when I boycotted the Arizona meetings. My best conference memory is when my son turned 8 years old at AAPOR 1997, and led by Bob Groves, a whole room full of AAPORites sang him happy birthday, about 800 people at once. AAPOR is my professional home. We all change jobs in the industry, we change companies, but AAPOR remains our one professional place where we meet friends, colleagues, share with them, learn from them. Very much happy birthday, AAPOR, happy 75th.
I'm Darby Steiger, and I want to wish AAPOR a very happy 75th anniversary. I have been attending AAPOR conferences for 23 years, since 1996, and I'm very excited to come to Atlanta this year. My best AAPOR conference memory was in 2011 when I was presenting a very important paper on non-response bias in federal surveys. And it was in Phoenix, Arizona. My parents and grandmother both lived in Arizona. And so I invited them to come hear my talk. Sure enough, at the end of my perfect delivery, I looked over at my parents and grandma, and all three of them were asleep. So that's the best you can hope for at an AAPOR conference, to present your hard work and findings to a very sleepy family. So here's to the next 75 years of AAPOR, wishing our community all the best as we charge forward into the future.
Happy 75th anniversary, AAPOR. I'm Tamara Terry, your current Membership and Chapter Relations Chair. I've been an AAPOR member for 12 years. Becoming an AAPOR member early in my career allowed me to grow, develop, and learn from the very best in public opinion research. It allowed me to create a network of like-minded professionals, and it also allowed me to meet an amazing group of people that I now call friends. Cheers to 75 years AAPOR, and I look forward to seeing everyone at our conference in May.
Hello, my name is Natalie Walls. I'm a junior from Jacksonville State University in Alabama, and I wanted to congratulate the AAPOR on its 75th anniversary. What a tremendous feat! Though I'm not a member of the AAPOR, its honorable work has continuously made our world a better place. I recently learned of the AAPOR in my public opinion class at JSU under my phenomenal professor, Dr. Barnett. Not only has the class given me insight into all of the hard work that goes into bridging the gap between public opinion and politics, but upon further research, I learned how the AAPOR has worked tirelessly to increase the confidence of both university students and others that the science and scruples of public opinion research is well supported by professional, ethical, and attentive means. The AAPOR gives me hope in the future, and I plan on fervently exposing all of my fellow peers, especially those in the political science department, to this amazing organization in the hope of spreading the word and increasing interest in the world of the AAPOR. Once again, happy anniversary to the AAPOR, and thank you for all that you have done.
Hey, this is Ken Winnig, 33-year member of AAPOR, joined in 1987. Want to wish AAPOR a happy 75th and wish for many, many more. Peace.
My best AAPOR conference memory is from 4 years ago in New Orleans, when just as David Dutwin, the conference chair, was about to open the conference, a circuit breaker tripped and all the power to the AV board and equipment went down. And I had to keep going like this to get David to vamp for a few minutes while we got the power and all the servers back online. What impact has the AAPOR conference had on me? Just being able to go and help as one of the staff put on an awesome conference for all the attendees and handle all the behind-the-scenes magic that they don't get to see that makes the conference go seamlessly.
Happy 75th anniversary, AAPOR. I've been a member for 19 years. I think my favorite AAPOR conference memory was in the 2007 conference, where I happened to meet my husband during the post-banquet party. So anything can happen. See you all in Atlanta.
Hi, I'm Melanie Goff.
Hi, I'm Delia Murphy.
Hi, I'm Daniel Chapa.
And we're your DC staff team wishing AAPOR a happy 75th anniversary.
Can't wait to see you soon in Atlanta.
Woo!
Happy anniversary!